So focusing a little bit more on Zinedine Zidane, of course, he saved Real Madrid, or in a way, Real Madrid saved themselves from going out to the Europa League potentially, or even worse. Result going out of the Champions League completely on fourth place. Now, we have to ask ourselves the question, is this going to be a turnaround for Real Madrid's season? Is this the time and the match and the portion of the season where we see the real Real Madrid, quote unquote, the Real Madrid that pops up around this time after the group stages? This is the third season in a row where Real Madrid seems shaky in the Champions League. They start slow in the group stages, they don't make it quite well in their group, and then of course they blossom in the round of 16 or the qualifying knockout stages, depending. Not always the case, it hasn't been the case certainly in the last couple of seasons. For Zinedine Zidane, it's now 2 out of 3. He dealt with 2 big matches out of 3, and now he's going to have the bigger match of the 3 against Atletico Madrid in the derby in the weekend. Zinedine Zidane certainly has, not ruined, but his reputation really decreased a lot and decreased drastically in the second stint with Real Madrid since he took over after that horrendous exit against Ajax in the Champions League in 2019. Then, of course, another one in the same knockout round against Manchester City in the round of 16 last season, which pretty much was not unexpected, but it hurt because Rafael Varane, basically gave Manchester City the game on a platter at the time. Zinedine Zidane now needs to focus on the work ahead of him. The derby against Madrid is a decisive one. It didn't feel that decisive for a while now. The Madrid derby felt in some ways for the last couple of seasons that either fell over the hype or like stumbles over its own hype, and you think that Atletico Madrid are going to be doing something eventually in the derby, but they lose or they draw, and the derby is disappointing as a performance, as a match. It's not enjoyable from a performance point of view. You don't really like what you see on the pitch from Atletico Madrid. Certainly Simeone does not look bothered to please people. This is one of those derbies where you think this could be decisive. This could be probably not title deciding, but this could be very crucial and a milestone in the race for the Laliga title. Do you look at Zidane? Because you look at Zidane at the moment and you say, okay, this guy now saved himself from going out of the Champions League. Let's see what he's going to do in La Liga. Can he turn around Real Madrid's season? Can he be their saviour once again? Because they look up to him right now. And he seems to start a bit by bit to change his philosophy a little bit, to change his ideas. He knows now what to do with the players, unlike a couple of weeks or even months ago, where he seemed somehow clueless. I don't want to say that really, but really seemed not knowledgeable on what players should be doing on the pitch. Certainly some personnel choices are not that good. Whenever he picks Marcelo, he loses basically in the last year or so. On the right hand side, of course, the absence of Carvajal and Odriozola, and putting Lucas Vazquez on as a makeshift didn't really work a lot. Borussia Mönchengladbach certainly was one of the cases where it worked, as we mentioned in the podcast, because of the weakness that existed in the left-hand side of Borussia Mönchengladbach, which always should have been exploited really with any team that has decent right back and a decent winger. In the case of Real Madrid, they had 2 decent wingers on the right in Lucas Vazquez and Rodrigo. Lucas Vazquez isn't a right back. He's not practically a right back, so they played basically as double wingers, and he didn't have to do a lot defensively because Borussia Mönchengladbach didn't do a whole lot offensively. That was the deal. But now the question is, and we need to head forward, can Real Madrid beat Atletico Madrid? This Atletico Madrid, this season's Atletico Madrid. And this season's Atletico Madrid isn't like the strongest Atletico Madrid I've ever seen. Certainly I think there are stronger versions than Atletico Madrid. The 2014-16 one probably is the strongest under Simeone, at the very least. You look at Zinedine Zidane, I would say, if he beats Simeone, he does himself really well. He does himself a big favour in getting back to the title race, preventing Atletico Madrid from escaping, from having, 5 points or 8 points lead at the top. Atletico Madrid is still missing 2 games, just like Real Madrid, so these 2 games could come handy for them when they are eventually played, in terms of, finishing above everyone else. Atletico Madrid, I think by this run, and if they keep this run going until end of the season, until the halfway line into the season, they're guaranteed a Champions League finish. Of course, they're guaranteed to be back in the Champions League next season. There's no doubt about it. The extra mile now is for them to win the title. We're going to be talking, of course, more in depth, I think, about the derby tomorrow, and maybe on Saturday we're going to have another chance to do it. But I think the question focuses more now on Zinedine Zidane, and focuses more on whether he did he save himself? Did he really put himself in a good position to continue with Real Madrid? Certainly yes, but could they capitulate in the late part of the season? Yes, they can. Could they not finish well in the Champions League? Could they be knocked out early in the round of 16 again? Yes. Could they lose the title again? Yes. So it all depends now on could the team pick up the momentum. And it's been weird, really, for Real Madrid to not have 2 wins in a row at certain points. Now they did, and they need to make it 3. And if they make it 3, I think we can all say that Real Madrid are back, quote unquote, for the listeners in sort, because we still didn't see the real Real Madrid. We're still not seeing the real Real Madrid popping back. In my opinion, Zinedine Zidane still has some work to do against Simeone and against Atletico in the derby, but certainly he managed to save himself from a big pit of hell he was about to fall into if he had any other result. If he'd drawn against Mönchengladbach, he would have been out of the Champions League, and that would have been really, really weird. That's all for this extra video. Like, share, comment this video what you think. Did you think Zinedine Zidane actually saved himself from the sack? Do you think this is going to be the turnaround for Real Madrid this season? Again, like, share, comment and subscribe to the channel, most importantly, to receive the podcast version, the YouTube version of the podcast, and receive extra videos like these. Follow us on social media. I'm at TheSidePSP. I'm at SidePSP on Twitter, PitchSidePod on Instagram. Until then, I will see you tomorrow in the podcast episode. I was your boy, the HOD from the PSP, and goodbye.